everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Today I'm going to make the T-51 power armor stand on this PVC pipe frame. Enjoy. This project's a little bit more advanced than my usual one, and it involved about 8 of these 5 feet 1/4 inch PVC pipe, so 40 feet all together. And you're going to need some PVC pipe cutters to make your life a whole lot easier, and also have a very ventilated workspace because we will be using this PVC pipe primer and PVC pipe cement, and both of them have fumes that go everywhere, so definitely have a fan running or just do it outside. All the measurements throughout the entire video and building process. So the first component I'm making is out of this 3/4 PVC pipe, and it is the shin, and of course there is an opening there so I can walk into the power armor. So these are all the PVC pipes I cut. We have 4 22 inchers. This piece is this right here. It might vary on your leg size. My shin ended up being 22 inches. Yours might be shorter. These 3 pieces, 11.5. We have 2 5-inch pieces, 3 4.5s. And then we had these tiny little cutoffs, which we're going to use for this part right here, which is also stable. For the fittings, we're gonna need 6 of these elbow joints, 4 of these 90-degree elbow joints, and then 1 T-joint. And then let's dry fit this all together and then glue it. Okay, so to be clear, we have 2 of those 5-inch pieces right here and here to split this T-joint right here, and the other side is just an 11.5. And then we're going to take our 2 90-degree elbow joints right here, and then you're going to take one of your scraps. You're going to want to glue these together, and then also get another scrap, put that in here, and then this is going to be a solid piece that doesn't move, and it's going to go in here because this will be our knee joint. This is all dry fit, so we are going to cut our scraps to length for the elbow here. Whenever you glue it, that's the point of no return, so let's glue this together. Okay, so we got these locked in place. Remember, this part is not going to move, and we still have this piece of PVC pipe scrap sticking out, which is also locked in place, but the thigh will move on this joint right here. Both of them are good to go. So now we're going to start working on the thigh. So remember, your size might vary, but for my thigh, I have 1 15-inch piece, 1 11-inch piece, 3 5-inch pieces, 1 4.5-inch piece, and then 1 1 1/4 piece. And this is what it looks like dry fit. We have that 1 1/4 piece right in between here holding these together, the 5-inch piece here, the 4.5 goes here, and then the 2 other 5s go up there. This is the 11-incher, this is the 15-incher, and we have this right here, which will go on to the shin right here. This is that knee joint right there, and that 45 allows you to bend your knee a lot right there. I also have this hinge point right here, which will have the same exact 2 90s because the hips are going to go here, and I want some hip movement. But this is the thigh. Let's glue it together. All right, I'm going to actually thoroughly show you how I glue together in case you've never used PVC pipe or PVC pipe glue before. I have my dry fit piece right here, and remember, always have a fan running or just do it in a very high ventilated area, or better yet, in your garage or outside, because this stuff is very nasty. Always prime the inside, give this a little tap. All you need is that much primer, and that's it. You let that dry and put the primer on both pieces. This is the smallest piece, so the primer goes all over it. It is going to be completely covered up. Boom, that's how much primer you need. It's just that simple. On the inside here, just like that. Not even an inch of primer, and then put it down, let it dry. and I like to put all of the glue on the fittings and not the pipe itself, because the glue will actually just stay in the fitting. And you also, just like the primer, don't need that much glue. Make sure the primer is dry on your piece of PVC pipe, and just one lather, just like that. And put your piece in. I like to rotate it a little bit so the glue gets all up in there. And then that's it. You let that dry. You push firmly. Make sure it gets squeezed and pushed all the way in the socket. And then same thing on the other side. Just one simple lather of glue. And then I like to make sure they're lined up. So look at it down this way, and then just make sure they're lined up the same way. This is how it's supposed to go. I made a mistake. It's still wet, so I can still save it, so that's okay. Alright, this piece is complete, and we're just going to let that dry. And this right here is going to be the hip joint, so I have some movement right there on my hips. And then right there is the knee joint, which will be held in place with some kind of dowel or screw. So we have two more of these 90 things that I made here, and I have them attached, but they're not glued, obviously. I have this T-joint here, and now we're gonna build the waist right here with some more pipe. And of course, this is the hip joint, and we're going to have the hip here and not here. So we're gonna make this glued to that permanently, and then it will actually bend right here. So for this T right here, I actually dremeled the absolute hell out of this T right here, and I got rid of that little shoulder, like this one here. I still gotta Dremel this one. There's a little shoulder that stops the pipe right there. I drilled it, or I Dremeled it all the way through, and you can also use a rat tail file. So now the pipe sticks all the way through the fitting, and that's just a way easier way to get that pivot point. So now I'm not limited to that array of motion with my hips. Oh yeah, Then the leg should actually swing from that pivot, which it does. To make the hinges stay in place, I went on the thigh and drilled a 1/2 inch hole, because I'm using this 1/2 inch wooden dowel right here, and you can use any size dowel, but I wrapped the dowel in duct tape, and I'm going to use PVC pipe glue to put it in here, and then that will be permanent. And then when you put this back on, is going to stick through. I'll pull it out a little bit more, but then I'll have something to attach a stopper to it so it won't just slide right off, but it's already stronger. Now I'm going to repeat this process on this joint and obviously this leg, and I won't have to for the hip, because like I said, we Dremeled out this T. After that, I'll be able to bear the weight of the entire torso right there. So I might have to put some WD-40 or some kind of lube in between that, because to stop the PVC pipe from rolling off, I wrapped the exposing dowel in some duct tape and then put some hot glue in there so it doesn't slide off. Alright, so the hips are actually pretty simple. Right now I have a dry fit, and these two pieces are 11.5, just like the width of the thigh and shins. This is a 15-inch piece, so that will be cut in half eventually and pieced up, because I'm going to have two T's right here going up, and then those two pipes will go up into the chest plate, and that's what the chest plate will be mounted to. And of course, these can slide in and out. I'm still going to figure out the length of these, but right now this is just me figuring it out. But as you can see, I can walk right into the legs just as planned and as accurately to the game. I'm going to have to hold these together because they are dry fit, like I said. but look what movement I am limited to. I can move my legs side to side, just like I planned, with being able to slide the T's through the T's in and out of the pipe. So dremeling that was a good idea.
Rewind, come again.
So we're back and it's the next day. I have 2 more T fittings. We're gonna put them somewhere in the middle. It doesn't really matter as long as they're evenly spaced out. And then we're gonna add some pipes on after. Remember, this piece is supposed to add up to 15 inches. So for the 3/4 fittings, this long piece is 7 inches, and then both of these small pieces are 2 5/8. A leftover fitting, this 120-degree angle one, I chopped off the part that goes over the pipe down to that shoulder. Then I chopped that piece in half, so now I have 2. So I'm going to glue these 2 rings permanently to the pipe right here, so then it doesn't slide back and forth this way, but it will still have this movement of the hips. Now, you don't have to do this step, but I'm going to add some of these caps on the end because you don't want to scratch yourself on this exposed pipe. So we'll add these caps. And it also looks a little bit cleaner, more professional. Here is the last piece of this PVC pipe structure. We just need some kind of frame and shape to hold the bulky chest plate. These 2 pieces are 11 inches and this is 7 inches. Yeah, works out pretty good. So I have a slot cut out for this shape right here. And then I'm probably just going to glue it together with regular hot glue. Actually, black hot glue. And it actually stands on its own. This is insane. I mean, right now it's just standing on friction. I'm gonna have some kind of like elastic bands as some stretchiness in between all the joints so it can stand on itself reliably. But like right now, the fact that I got it standing is what I was intending to do for this video. So I'm proud of it. Now let's just get in it and walk around in it and test it out. So walking around in it is not too bad. It's what I expect from a PVC pipe frame. And I'm actually even able to get it to stand on its own if I prop it up right. I will improve that feature later in the process of building, but I'm also able to get in and out of it just like you are in the game. So this is going to have to wrap it up for this part, which I think is 3. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you like these builds that I do, like and subscribe for more videos.